Greetings everyone. Welcome to GBS Artisan Body Care. I am Asia. Today I'm going to share with you the first trip that we took for our spring-summer season. We have a few historically relevant road trips planned, and so this past weekend we visited Sapelo Island. Sapelo Island is located in McIntosh County in Georgia. And actually this is a condensed version of everything that we saw and experienced. It's pretty much what had the most profound impact on me. And there's so much to see, there's so much information to take in. But before I get into showing you some of the stuff that we saw and experienced, I want to give you just a really brief history of Sapelo Island itself. During the early 19th century, Thomas Spalding, who eventually became a Georgia senator and a U.S. representative, brought 400 slaves to Sapelo Island from West Africa and the West Indies. They were brought there, of course, to work and to live and also to build his mansion, which was eventually called the Spalding Mansion. It is well noted that Thomas Spalding was strictly against the abolishment of slavery. Ironically, in 1851, Thomas Spalding died as he was on his way back from a conference where he spoke on behalf of the preservation of slavery. In 1912, Howard E. Coffin, who was the founder of the Hudson Motor Company, purchased Sapelo Island for $150,000, with the exception of a few areas that were settled by former slaves. During the Great Depression in 1934, Sapelo Island was purchased from Howard E. Coffin by R.J. Reynolds Jr., who was the heir to the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. And that is how the Spalding Mansion eventually was renamed the R.J. Reynolds Mansion. Currently, there are just a few descendants of the slaves who originally lived and worked on Sapelo Island still residing on Sapelo Island. They are battling huge tax hikes. They are battling the threat of large real estate companies and development companies buying up land in order to build expensive homes and resorts. They are really in a battle to retain ownership and preserve the culture of Sapelo Island. Before I tell you what you can do to help, I want to show you some of the things that we experienced during our tour of Sapelo Island. Sapelo Island is about a 4-hour drive from the metro Atlanta area. But once you're in the town adjacent to Sapelo Island, it is beautiful, quiet, and very serene actually. Getting to Sapelo Island requires a short trip on a ferry boat. It is 7 nautical miles from the mainland, and unfortunately, it makes it a great location to own slaves because there's absolutely no way to escape. After getting off of the boat, we met up with our fantastic and amazing tour guide, JR. He drove us to various locations all over the island and shared with us historical information about each one. The first stop on the tour was very emotionally overwhelming for me. Behavior Cemetery was established around 1805 and is still in use today. It is also the resting place of the last remaining slaves of Thomas Spalding. Thomas Spalding told his slaves, "I will allow you to stay on Sapelo Island if only you agree to behave yourselves." Hence the name Behavior Cemetery. The slaves of Sapelo Island were responsible for the first large-scale production of sugar and chocolate for America, among other crops. This is all that remains of the slave quarters. The experience of visiting Sapelo Island had a really unexpected emotional impact on me. It's one thing to watch a documentary, read a book, watch a movie, or even a television show that deals with the topic of slavery. but it is just a completely different experience to walk the same roads or see where slaves had to actually live and work and suffer. And it's also an interesting experience to see the virtual paradise that the slave owners created for themselves, that on the other hand was a living hell for the actual slaves. Like I said, it was just a really emotional and interesting experience for me, but also it was empowering to know that in many ways that I am the evidence of the resilience of these people who were brought to America against their will to work and live and build. So with regard to what you can do, you can actually visit and recommend to your friends to visit. That will help the economy of Sapelo Island. If by any chance you are interested in purchasing land and you're truly interested in helping the descendants of Sapelo Island retain ownership and preserve the culture of Sapelo Island, purchasing land on Sapelo Island would help also. Our weekend road trip, it was truly a weekend just filled with love and laughter and learning and great conversation. And to top everything off, Miss Jennifer Jackson, who is a fantastic woman. She's a mother, a wife, she's a registered nurse, and a businesswoman. On Sunday morning, she woke up really early and she made us her world-class, taste like you're floating in the clouds banana pudding, and she gave us a big pan to take back home with us. And I have a picture just in case you want to see what it looks like. And if you're wondering, yes, it's actually a vegetarian dessert. So thank you, Jennifer, so much for being just so gracious and showing and being the epitome of Southern hospitality. Also, I'm in the information box of this video. I will give you the email to JR, who is our tour guide for our Sapelo Island visit. He is amazing. It's just full of information. And so if you're interested, you email him and contact him, and he can answer any questions you may have about dates or times or anything pertaining to visiting Sapelo Island. So I do thank you for watching another one of my videos. I hope you have an opportunity to visit and have a fantastic day. I will see you soon.